Hi everyone, welcome to our Google Classroom cheat sheet for students. This is the first of two videos. Hopefully you're a little familiar with Google Classroom. You should have used it in 5th grade, but if not, here's how you will log in for the first time. So first of all, if you've never used Google Classroom, this is where teachers and students can communicate and collaborate. Teachers will post assignments here and you can complete your work on the computer and turn it in through the computer. It helps you and the teacher stay organized. Now, if you've never used Google Classroom, you can access it in two ways. You can either go to classroom.google.com and you will see this white screen that I have my mouse on right now. Or if you're in Google Chrome, you go up to the upper right hand corner and there's 3 rows of 3 dots. That's what we refer to as your waffle. And if you click that, you can get into into Google Classroom that way. So to actually log in, you will need to log in using your Gmail. It is the same Gmail address and password that you use to get into your Gmail currently. Once you log in, you will need to select your role and you are a student. Once you are in to Google Classroom, now you're ready to join your individual Google Classrooms for your different areas such as math, ELA, science, and social studies. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go in the upper right-hand corner of the Google Classroom page and there's a plus sign. When you click that plus sign, it's going to give you the option to join class or create class. You want to click join class. This will then prompt you to enter a class code that the teacher will give you. Your teacher could also send you an invite into the Google Classroom and you access this invite through your email. You would just open up the email and you would join the class that way. Now, once you're in a class, you will see your main page and there's a couple things that we're going to touch briefly here and then I'm going to talk about a little bit more in depth. So the first thing on that page is number 1, the main menu. This is those 3 little lines you'll see in the upper left-hand corner. This is where you're going to access your classes, your calendar, student works, and settings. Number 2 here in the middle is your stream. That's the main page. That's the first page you're going to see when you sign into your Google Classroom. This is where you're going to find announcements from your teacher, upcoming deadlines, or you could possibly even post and comment on this page if your teacher allows you to. The next one is classwork. This is the page where you will use this button the most. This is where you're going to find your assignments and your class materials. Number 4 is people. This is where you will find a list of all the kids in your class as well as your teachers, and you can email the teachers and the students right from that page. And finally, number 5, this is that little waffle that I was referring to. This is the icon that sets and organizes all of our G Suite apps. So when you click this icon, this is where you're going to see your Drive, Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Spreadsheets, and many more things. So let's look at each one of these a little closer. First is our main menu. This is those 3 lines that I said you see in the upper left-hand corner. Now when you click this button, you can look at your classes, your calendar, your to-do list. This is where your due date assignments will be listed for all your classes. You will see a list of all your classes here. You will see any archived classes. Now, you may not have any archived classes. These would be like last year's Google Classroom that you may have used or the year before. If you have some Google Classrooms from last year and you need to archive them, we can help you with that. But this is where you will find them once you do archive that. And then we have our settings, and this is where you can turn on and off notifications. And I strongly recommend you do not turn off your notifications, because then you won't get emails or things like that when stuff is posted. So let's look at each of those middle sections a little closer. The first one is Student Stream. This is the main page that you're going to see when you log into your Google Classroom. So the top here, the green, is the banner. This is what they call the banner, and it usually will have the class name along with your teacher's name and possibly a Bitmoji or picture for your teacher. Now, number 1, this box on the left-hand side, these are your upcoming assignments. So if your teacher posts an assignment that has a due date, this will show your due dates, your upcoming assignments that are due. Box number 2, this is always going to be at the top of your stream page, and this is where you can post or comment if the teacher allows you to be able to have that option. Number 3, this could be just a post from a teacher telling you, like this teacher, to remember to bring your signed permission slip for the field trip. And then finally, number 4, the other kind of notification you will see is for your new assignments. You can see them here, but you're also going to be able to see them on your classwork page, which is what we're going to look at now. This is the page you're probably going to use the most, so get real familiar with this. This is where you can view your work, if you turned something in or didn't turn something in, what due dates are, your grades. There's a lot of things to see here, so let's look at all of them. The very first thing that you should see once you click that classwork button, right here, number 1 is going to be your work, okay? Number 2, so you would click that if you wanted to view your work. Number 2, if you click this, Google Calendar, this will open up your Google Calendar. So if your teacher has set up a Google Meet and has sent out invites for everybody for this Google Meet, this is where you can access that link for the Google Meet. It will be right on your calendar. You click the link, it takes you right in. And then finally, number 3 here on the top is the Class Drive folder. Now, this is the real important section, the meat of this page. So first, let's look at number 4 here on the left-hand side. This is topics. This is where all the topics will be listed. So hopefully your classroom teacher will have separated your assignments and materials based on a topic, by unit, by chapter, by what is materials, what might be a resource, things like that. And the great thing about this little all topics section is you don't have to scroll through the whole center main page to find what you're looking for. For example, if you wanted to get to September 4th, it's all the way down here, September 6th. This is where you would locate that. You would click that, and then the center would scroll automatically down to that. So that allows you to navigate the page much quicker. In the center here, this is where you will see all your things posted. You will see your classroom materials and then your units. And underneath each one of these topics will be the assignments, the reviews, the materials, etc. for each of those things. So this teacher has classroom materials, and this is where they have their syllabus and their teacher website or the class rules. And then it goes into Unit 1 for the Civil War. And this is where now the assignments will show up. So in the next video, we're going to look at the assignments a little bit closer.